All right. That was season 1, episode 8 of Death Note. I agree with you. It could have been like, if they didn't show that, I would have been like, oh my god, they're going to search the trash. What if overnight Elle put that into motion? What if the trash, like the garbage truck, wasn't actually a garbage truck?
It's a fake garbage truck.
I am so into the cat and mouse because it's like so quick. One gets the lead over the other and back and forth.
It's almost like there is no movement at all because of how quick they're both kind of just like in the same position. It's
not even like one's going this way and the other's getting a little bit ahead.
Huge they're just leaps ahead.
They're just
it's
continuously
like little,
ramping up. This is awesome.
I mean, like, if anything, I feel like watching Light, even if Light doesn't do anything inherently suspicious, I feel like Elle is already just getting suspicious of him because of his lack of suspiciousness.
Yeah.
You know? And just kind of like the things he said something out loud about the broadcast. I feel like I wonder if it would have been better if he had been like, oh, okay. Instead of like a long drawn out like, oh, they're doing that.
I think what he did was perfect. I think that if he said nothing, it could be seen as suspicious. If he said more, it could be like, oh, he's like really smart and he's trying to overcompensate or something. But the way he did it and phrased it, he phrased it in the way that he had his opinion and why he thought what they were doing was dumb. So that Elle in turn would be like, okay, he's smart. He's smart that he could realize this is a dumb decision, and I can see where his intellect caps out at, and not think, oh, there's another layer behind it. But it's Elle, so he always thinks there's another layer behind it.
He thinks there's layers behind everything. He's like, everything's an onion to that man.
Yeah, honestly. Speaking of everything's an onion to Elle, everything's an apple to Ryuk. He gets it's like alcohol to him. It's like nicotine.
No wonder the apple is such a big part of the opening. Now we know Ryuk like literally can't live without them. And if Ryuk was eating one, they would see a floating apple in his room. I'm still like, wish there was like a little more clear up of like, Ryuk was definitely in the bedroom when Light got home and saw that the door was the way it was.
Maybe he just got in like seconds before.
Maybe he flew up through the window and didn't like enter the house like Light did.
It seemed like we now know that he can phase through any wall. Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of, that was like probably the episode with maybe the most like comedic elements or like laughter that we had during an episode, which is interesting after such like a soul crushing episode that we had last time.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know, like to get to the point, like we're only on, what episode is this? 8. We're only on episode 8 and that one of the number one suspects is Light. Like that just sounds like dangerous territory, but I feel like he's going to get out of it and get to the point where Elle's like, maybe you're right that it couldn't possibly be someone in Chief Yagumi's family.
I think either because Light plans it or it's just out of sheer coincidence. I think that the Kitamura family, the other family that Penber was investigating, are going to do something suspicious enough to get the attention off of Light.
I mean, there could always be shady things going on. So maybe they do something that is shady or possibly criminal, and it has nothing to do. It is not related at all. But maybe they do things that are suspicious, or there's an affair going on, or something that is cause for attention, that people are sneaking around or hiding things, that they're going to be like, oh, and then they're going to find out later on after they investigate it that it was just like a false like thing and it wasn't anything related to the Kira case.
If Light knows that they are also being investigated,
is he going to plant something? Is that what
which I believe he could have access to because he already knows. He already was able to find Penber, you know, and who he was investigating. If he knew their names and saw their picture, he could literally cause them to do something suspicious as long as it ended with their death. He could write.
Is he going to frame one of them as Kira to like make the general public, or like, you know, be like fake that person was Kira, like committing suicide or something?
it would have to be so specific and well thought out that it wouldn't just be an odd, because if he messed that up and didn't play it the right way, then Elle would be like, well, of course it's Light.
I mean, he might do it to maybe, it might not give doubt to Elle, but it might give doubt to the rest of the task force.
Maybe.
And they might be like, whoa, no, that he literally admitted to being, like, what if he has them write, like, a suicide note saying they're Kira or something? And then everyone would be like, see, you don't have to surveil our families anymore. Like, you know that it's not any of us. See, Kira just killed himself. And what if they latch onto it and have that doubt, you know?
But then
Elle
then Light wouldn't be able to kill anymore as Kira. Because if he did and he started the killings again, then... He
might have to space it out a little bit, like take a break. And then try to start killing people in inconspicuous ways. You know, he might someday be faced with a time where he needs to take a break and change how he does what he does.
Yeah.
So maybe the next step in his plan would be to pretend that Kira died. But no, he wants everyone to, like...
Think of him as a god.
Think of Kira as, like, a god. He wouldn't want people to think that Kira was dead. But... the police probably wouldn't put it out to the public right away if someone said they were Kira and killed themselves.
I agree. I want to quickly say that I think Detective Yagami is a great man. Yeah. I really like him, and I think that he has a very strong will. It was obviously so
hard for him to agree to that.
But he's still willing to do it for the greater good. Mm-hmm. And I really like him. I also want an entire series just based off of Ryuk and Light playing video games together. I want to know what kind of games they play. I can, after the Apple context was given, I now imagine a controller just hovering in the air while playing.
No more video game playing while there is cameras. The amount of cameras.
Like 64, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is absolutely nuts. I want to know how old Elle is. Because I knew...
20-something.
I knew that he was older than Light. Like, from when we met him. Like, I got that vibe. But I didn't think he was much older than Light. So, I would like to know an exact age at some point.
Dang.
I also really like Watari.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like, fact that he was scooping ice cream for them while they were, like, late night investigating.
Was it a tea flavor? It was green. Pistachio. Could it be matcha, pistachio? Because we saw that... Elle likes tea last episode, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
the fact that there were cameras in the train station.
Ugh, so
But it was literally an angle where you couldn't even see a shadow in the door. And I was like,
so good.
So close.
That's almost all I got. I'm trying to I wrote down, it was interesting that they noted at the mid-credit that a person can shorten their own life with the death note. And in my head, I'm like, well, duh, right? Like, of course you could write your own name in the death note.
Why would you do that?
But then I'm like, okay, a few episodes, I don't know, a while ago I was like, can you lengthen your own life with the death note? But I definitely don't think you can, because Light asked Ryuk this episode, well, like, if he writes somebody's name down, but then they happen to die before that happens, you know, what then? There's so many little nuances in this show that really make it great and so much fun to just talk about.
Yes.
Do you have anything else?
No. It almost seemed like this episode was a setup episode, to kind of set up some maybe more action-packed, tense moments in the next episode. Because, like, it almost, like, ended where we're like, oh, Light's gonna get out of this.
I do think Light might have slightly fucked up by killing the first two petty criminals he saw on TV. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that.
How did he pay for how he watched the criminals in the chip bag?
Like, how did he have the money for it?
I'm sure he didn't use, like, a credit card or anything. He probably used cash.
Probably saves. But
I was trying to think of a way they could tie back that maybe he bought, like, a little TV or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really seem like there'd be, like, a trail for that. How'd he get it in the chip bag either? I don't understand that.
Good question.
He, like, resealed it, probably.
I wonder if we're going to get to see that. But other than that, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Rest in peace, Misura. Gone, but never forgotten. That's her name, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
But maybe they do things that are suspicious, or there's an affair going on, or but maybe they do things that are suspicious, or there's an affair going on, or there's an affair going on, or
there's an affair going on, or